Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have a look at my first clear of Avalon, and this will be with a free party because I have 0 Hatcher monsters that are water bounce with no warp. It's definitely a hole in my box. But that is what we want to bring, water characters that are bounce with no warp. It is the single gimmick here, and then there's lots of places to pinch, so that's what we want to do. The first character I'm using is Yamato Takeru. He is an impossible drop monster, and he is a power type, which is kind of the best kind for pinching. He has a lock-on one-way laser, which is a good damage source throughout this mission. And yeah, that bump combo is kind of the key to playing with a free party. He also has a strike shot where he becomes a pierce and his speed goes way up. And that could be a good way to get concentrated damage on the boss. Next up I'm using Shibai Evolution, and she is a bounce with no warp, of course. She has a good bump combo, the short spread, and then she has a meteor strike shot, which comes in handy, especially on the last stage where we have a lot of little guys to take down before we can go after the boss. And Shibai is a super extreme monster. And then Lilith Evolution here, she's kind of like the standard extreme version of Shibai. She also has a meteor strike shot, also good for that last stage. And then a vertical laser, which is only so-so for this quest. And lastly, my friend is Guinevere. And she has a very strong bump combo and a strike shot that does a delay for 3 turns. And that's also very useful here because that way we can delay some very strong attacks, and that'll allow us to get us some attacks in ourselves. Okay, so first 2 stages, just about pinching everything in sight. And then here, the 3rd stage, same thing basically. We can pinch in between the galaxies, or we can pinch in between the wall and the Donatellos. And then our ultimate goal is to get rid of the Legion there at the bottom. If we have guys underneath Legion to start, we can just, do an up angle and just take them out there. But if we're not in that perfect position, then we want to get rid of all the little guys first. All of the galaxies in this mission have one-hit KOs, so we definitely want to get rid of them before their higher turn count. And then the Donatellos, they heal the Legion, so we definitely want to get rid of them too. Okay, but that went pretty smoothly, so now we'll go after the Legion. And then his hitbox is smaller than his actual sprite. If we look at where his weak points are, that gives us an idea of how small he actually is. And then kind of the best angle to go at him is like this angle where Shibai is coming from. Slightly to the left or right, and then do a real shallow angle down, slightly to the left or the right. Okay, here we want to get rid of the galaxies, and then if we pinch in there, then we will be out of the range of the lasers that are going to shoot off from off the side of the screen, down there at the bottom. So yeah, if we can stay more towards the top of the screen, we'll be okay. Okay, we'll try to move up. Whoops. Yeah, regular bound there, so Shibai came back down. And then we'll get hit by a couple of the lasers. Thankfully, we saved our hearts, so we can grab that now. And then there are those bump combos. Okay, again, we'll rely on bump combos, grab that heart, and no attacks next turn, so we can Take down the boss here without taking any damage ourselves. And then, last stage before the boss sequence. And here we want to pinch in between those two Avalons up there. And then we can also pinch underneath the bottom Avalon and the wall. And then maybe this turn or the next turn, the real Avalon will come in from off the screen. And depending on the positioning, we can pinch again where she is. Okay, here is the boss sequence. So here again we have galaxies. We want to get rid of them first, so we'll pinch in between them and the drones. The boss of Avalon will do defense up on herself, so there's no real reason to go after her now. We'll get rid of the other galaxies, and then we'll get rid of the Donatellos down there. They will heal the boss, just like they healed the Legion in a previous stage. Okay, and there we saw some pretty good damage from Shibai's bump combo. And we'll just keep moving our guys down, trying to take down these Donatellos. Pretty good. And then one of the most damaging attacks from Avalon, it's a horizon laser, a triple horizon laser, that comes out of her bottom half. So when we are aiming our guys, we want to make sure that we don't end up within that kind of that firing range. There are also lasers coming from off the sides of the top of the screen here, but they're not nearly as bad as the triple horizon laser. Okay, but basically we'll just stay underneath Avalon and just work on our bump combos in order to get damage into the boss. If we're really running low on time, we can more go towards the top of the screen, where the boss's weak points appear. Okay, and then here I figured that the bump combos would be enough to take down the boss. So we'll do a crazy angle with Shibai, pick up the heart, and then move on. Okay, here let's again pinch in between the galaxies, and then maybe also get rid of those drones if we can. And then, if our positioning is really good, we can pinch in between the two skull motorcycle guys when they appear next to each other. If our positioning is not good though, then we can just go straight for the boss. We should keep an eye though on the Diablos, I remember their name now. Keep an eye on their top number there, because that's their explosion attack. It's not a one-hit KO, but it's pretty damaging, so... if we can, you know, take down them, or else take down the boss by that time, that would be preferable. But we're doing pretty good on damage on the boss, so I'm just going to go for that route, just taking the boss out first. Okay, with Yamato Takeru, let's get underneath Avalon. We have Shibai down there, so she'll get the short spread into the boss. That's pretty good. Okay, so we'll move on up, hopefully grab that gold heart. Perfect. And we're at the last stage. And then here, this is where many players like to use a meteor strike shot. So let's do that with Lilith here. My goal is to hit the Donatello and the Legion. If I can hit both Donatellos, and maybe the boss and some other guys, that would be just icing. But that meteor went ridiculously well, so we took out basically everybody but the Legion. And that really saves me a lot of turns. If I were playing without a meteor strike shot, I have to take one turn to take down one guy. And yeah, that can take a while. but now I have a bunch of extra turns. So we'll just do our attacks on Legion until Legion's gone. And let's use Shibai's Meteor Strike Shot, just for that extra bit of damage on the Legion. Perfect. Alright, so now it's just us and the boss. Just in time, the defense up disappears, so... Guinevere is right in front of the weak point, so her weak point lock-on wave will do good damage. And I don't think we even need it, but let's use Guinevere's delay strike shot. So yeah, Avalon's ultimate attack is now going to take 9 turns to come out. That's plenty of time. With Yamato Takeru, let's use his Pierce Strike Shot. Go right through the weak point, so that's nice positioning. Alright, and then with Shibai, let's take out the boss with the bump combos. Alright, and that was Avalon with a free party. And I think that went pretty smoothly. And then as for the character of Avalon herself, she's still pretty darn good. Her strike shot is a little bit, what's the word? I guess tricky. It does take away your HP to do set amount of damage. But even ignoring that, all the rest of her is just so good that she has a very high score on game width. And then, yeah, if I do pull some nice Hatcher monsters, I may get started on the max luck of Avalon. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.